Concerning the backlash and bugginess of the less than aptly titled definitive editions of GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, Rockstar Games published a brief blog post yesterday going over how the titles didn't release in the state they wanted them to, and reiterating how crucial and important these three games are for not just them as a company, but for the gaming industry as a whole. They apologized for the plethora of bugs people have been reporting, among other things, and stated, quote, "We have ongoing plans to address the technical issues and to improve each game going forward. With each planned update, the games will reach the level of quality that they deserve to be." End quote. Okay, that's great and all, Rockstar, but this begs the question, how in the name of God did you okay these titles in the first place? Are you telling me that throughout the entire development process you didn't notice anything? It took the game's full-on release for you to hold up your hands and go, "Whoops, my bad, this isn't up to our standards after all." I don't know about you, dear listener, but this just 100% confirms to me how little Rockstar had to do with these definitive editions. It really does seem that Grove Street Games were just left to their own devices. It just blows my mind. It didn't meet your expectations, Rockstar. That is some bullshit. If it didn't meet your release and high-quality expectations, why didn't it meet them? Because you didn't ensure that it did before releasing it. The blog post also mentions how it deeply pains the kind folks over at Rockstar Games that apparently some of the developers are being attacked on their respective social media accounts. It's fine to be pissed off and vent and let Rockstar and Grove Street Games know how gloriously they shat the bed with these three remasters or re-releases, whatever the hell you want to call them. Harassment and personal attacks are never a smart thing to do, and I do not endorse that kind of behavior. Call them all the names you want, criticize their shitty business practices, but never turn your anger and dissatisfaction into a series of malicious personal social media knife fights, for the love of God. Anyway, moving on before I have a stroke. Rockstar goes on to say that an update is already in the works, and by God, it's already here. This update will, quote, address a number of issues, end quote. I guess we'll have to wait for the patch notes to get a better idea of what's really going on here, and holy shit, what do I have here strolling down the boulevard hand in hand with the patch? Why, it's the goddamn patch notes. Of course, this patch looks like it's on everything, except for, sadly, the Switch. And from all accounts and footage I've seen, the Switch version looks rough. Quite rough, but that's not something a patch can fix, unfortunately. Here are all the changes. I'm gonna go through them all very quickly here because there's a lot. First up, general fixes for everyone on all platforms aside from Switch. Fixed multiple localization issues, fixed multiple instances of missing or misaligned collision, fixed multiple instances of holes in the map, fixed multiple instances of incorrect or misplaced textures, fixed multiple instances of the camera clipping through objects, fixed multiple instances of incorrect subtitles being displayed, fixed multiple instances of incorrect help text being displayed, fixed multiple instances of misplaced objects, fixed multiple instances of issues with character models and cutscenes, fixed multiple instances of audio lines being skipped, delayed, or repeated. Moving on to GTA 3. Fix issues with blurry camera cuts and transitions during Grand Theft Auto cutscene. Fix an issue where paint spray doors were closed, preventing the player from being able to enter. Fix an issue where game stalls and props pop into the gone fishing cutscene. Fix an issue where the player would fail the mission, The Thieves, with a message, "A thief's dead," after the cutscene plays. Fix an issue with failing the mission Last Request due to Oscar falling out of the boat. Fix an issue with a missing GPS route when driving Curly Bob in a taxi during the mission Cutting the Grass. Fix an issue where the damage meter is not displaying correctly in the mission Escort Service. Fix an issue with a hole in the map that allowed players to access Staunton Island early. Fix an issue with Claude floating in the cutscene for the mission Big and Veiny. Fix an issue where character models were not animating during the cutscene for the mission Luigi's Girls. Fix an issue where character models were not animation during the cutscene for the mission Give Me Liberty. Oh my god. The character models were not animation. That is unforgivable. Fix an issue where the player can boost their running speed by quickly swapping through weapons. Fix an issue where the game would crash when entering a vehicle after completing Triad Wall. This is on the Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One. Fix an issue where the achievement Disposing of the Evidence does not unlock after completing the Dead Skunk in the Trunk mission. This is once again only on Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One. Vice City, you're up next. Fix an issue where players were unable to rotate the camera up or down while driving at high speeds. I actually experienced this. Fix an issue with fire truck lights flashing inconsistent colors. Fix an issue with GPS route display during the mission auto side. Fix an issue where pay and spray doors were closed, preventing the player from being able to enter. Fix an issue with multiple GPS routes appearing during the mission's Gunrunner and Psycho Killer. Fix an issue with the hit rate UI not displaying correctly during the mission Gunrunner. Fix an issue with PEDs incorrectly appearing in the cutscene for the mission The Chase. Fix an issue with Tommy Vercetti's character model going into a T-pose during the cutscene for In the Beginning. Fixed an issue with changes to language settings not being retained after a reboot on the Nintendo Switch. Wait, oh my god. Wait, how does that work? The top of the patch notes clearly specifies that this isn't on the Switch, but they're mentioning a Switch fix in these patch notes? Hold on, let me check this again. I need to make sure this is right. Yeah, the title of the patch notes only lists PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X and S, and Xbox One. I don't know what's going on there. Unless Switch users get their patch notes from a completely different source. Anyway, fix an issue where the game would crash when switching from TV mode to table mode during the loading screen. Fix an issue where the prompt error out of video memory trying to allocate a texture. Make sure your video card has the minimum required memory. Try lowering the resolution. Appears while exploring the North Point Mall. Xbox Series XS, Xbox One again. Fix an issue with the camera popping during the cutscene for the mission All Hands on Deck. Once again, Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One. Last but not least, San Andreas. Fix an issue with rain visual effects. I saw a lot of people complaining about that. Fix an issue with the camera spinning around quickly when finishing or failing a Blood Bowl. Fix an issue where the camera is incorrectly positioned when returning to gameplay after finding Sweet in the mission reuniting the families. Fix an issue where a bridge in Flint County is invisible. I've seen a lot of footage of that. Fix an issue where players can equip weapons while swimming, which can cause issues with the weapons clipping through the character's body. Fix an issue where incorrect help text was displayed for swimming. Fix an issue where the results screen was appearing at the start of bicycle, jump, and stoppy. Fix an issue with grey pedestrians appearing around the Willowfield and Playa del Cervo area. Fix an issue with a pedestrian looking partially translucent in the Just Business cutscene. Fix an issue with the legal text not being displayed correctly. Fix an issue with enforcer lights not flashing. Fix an issue with players not being able to kill Paul and Macca before triggering the cutscene for the mission Don's Peyote. Fix an issue where the mid-mission cutscene would start then fade to black before restarting again during the mission Sayonara Salvatore. Fix an issue where the game would restart from the beginning when selecting to retry from the last checkpoint of the mission High Stakes Low Rider. Fix an issue with an invisible enemy during the mission Los Desperados. Fix an issue with incorrect inverted controls when swimming underwater when setting them to either on or off. Fix an issue with the aiming sensitivity for the pistol ammunition challenge. Fix an issue where progress is blocked due to Sweet being killed prematurely during the mission The Green Saber. Fix an issue where the help text does not disappear, which ends up blocking the muscle stat from showing it increasing at any gym. Fix an issue with the incorrect time being displayed when collecting rings during the BMX or NRG 500 challenges. Fix an issue with the camera warping during the In the Beginning cutscene. Fix an issue where some character models were not animating during some cutscenes. I guess that's different from when character models do not animation. Fix an issue with the player getting stuck behind the clock and bell counter, Xbox Series XS, Xbox One. Fix an issue where police officers can be seen floating before a police car spawns during the Reuniting the Families cutscene. This is also on Xbox Series XS, Xbox One. And lastly, fix an issue with pedestrian weapon accuracy. Once again, on Xbox Series X and S and Xbox One. Wow. Not too shabby for the first non-day one patch, eh? And you know how I've only been playing the Vice City Definitive Edition, right? And I've been pretty lucky with not encountering many serious bugs, probably due to the fact I've been sticking to story missions and not exploring every nook and cranny of the city yet. But I finally encountered a bug during the Copline mission, so after setting the bomb in the North Point Mall, if you try and leave through the doorway immediately next to the coffee shop, the bomb instantly blows up and kills you. I have found a workaround online that involves you running as far away from the coffee shop as possible within the mall. The bomb will then explode, and then you get teleported back to the entrance of, I think it's Tarbrush Coffee. I think that's the name of the coffee store. And then you're free to leave through the nearby exit. And of course, that's not in the goddamn patch notes, which is annoying to say the least. I guess we'll have to wait for the inevitable patch number 2 for that, hopefully. I'm not holding my breath. Before I end the video, I'll leave on a high note. In the blog post, Rockstar says, quote, "We also understand that some of you would still like to have the previous classic versions available for purchase," end quote. Really? Really? You think? What would give you that idea, you absolute bunch of geniuses? Of course people want the originals to stay. What the hell made you think otherwise? There is a downside to this, however, in that only PC users will be able to buy the originals again. From what I can see, there is no word on whether the original titles will be relisted on digital console storefronts. The Rockstar store will be bundling these three up in a nice package for purchase, once again only on PC, and anybody who buys the definitive editions will have the original GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas added to their game library free of charge. This deal lasts all the way until June 30th next year. 2022. Just to clarify, once again, this is obviously only on PC. This is what should have happened from the start, by the way. Keep the originals and have anybody who buys the remasters get them for free, like what Skunk Ape Games did with the Sam & Max remasters. Is it really that hard? That's all for now. God, it's really hot today, and this is just adding to my sweat total. Until the next video, I gotta go feed my cat's ghost.